Spring has arrived in England, and today we're back out in our amazing country to visit another one of our counties. Today, we're in Northamptonshire. Located in the East Midlands with a population of 747,000, the landscape consists of rounded hills and valleys. With Northampton being one of the largest towns in England, it must have some great places to explore. And it does, so let's get going to look at some of these amazing stories. Starting off with the flowing canals and the history behind their dark tunnels. Then, we look deeper under the water when we learn the secrets of carp fishing and learn the skills of one of Northampton's shop owners. Then, we drive out into the countryside where we visit one of the UK's young farmers and talk to him about the state of farming for those new to the fields. Then, finally, we look down the barrel of one of Northamptonshire's hunting groups and get an insight into their community. However, let's go back to the top of that list and start off by looking at our canals. Stretching across England are a vast network of streams, brooks, rivers and canals, each one with its own story to tell. Among them, few are as historically significant as the Grand Union Canal, a vital waterway that winds through the heart of the country. I'm currently in Blisworth, which is a village nestled in a rural part of Northamptonshire, and next to me isn't just a peaceful canal, but it's an important part of British industrial history. This canal here is part of the Grand Union Canal, one of the most important and ambitious feats of engineering in UK's waterway history. The Grand Union Canal, as we know it today, was officially formed in 1929. It was created by linking several older canals, such as the Grand Junction Canal, the Warwick and Knapton Canal, and the Warwick and Birmingham Canal, into one continuous waterway, stretching 137 miles. This unified canal created a crucial link between London and Birmingham, two of the country's most important industrial centres. During the height of the Industrial Revolution, the Grand Union Canal played a critical role in Britain's expanding economy. It transported a variety of essential goods, such as coal, timber, and building materials. Narrowboats, often hauled by horses, would have been a common sight, moving slowly but steadily through the rural landscape and bustling towns. As the canal passes through Northampton, it splits at the Gated Marina, becoming the Northampton Arm, which is a 4.8-mile stretch with 17 locks. This arm connects the Grand Union to the River Nen. The main route, however, continues through the country until it reaches Blisworth, home of the famous Blisworth Tunnel. While no longer essential for commercial transportation, the Grand Union Canal is still used by walkers, cyclists, boaters and anglers. People are drawn to the canal for its tranquil waters, flourishing wildlife and historic structures like locks, aqueducts and old wharfs that hint at its industrious past. As the Grand Union Canal passes through Blisworth, it comes to the end of its above-ground journey, but what lies just below the surface is one of the canal's most remarkable and historic engineering feats. Tucked away at the edge of the village is the entrance to the Blisworth Tunnel. Now, this portal may seem modest or even underwhelming, but this facade hides some deep history behind it. Construction of the tunnel began in 1793. With no modern machinery available, workers relied solely on shovels and pickaxes, digging entirely by hand. Tragically, after 3 years of grueling labour, a mistake made by a contractor led to a collapse, killing 14 men. The tragedy led to the halt of all construction. It wasn't until 1802 the work resumed under the leadership of William Jessup, a prominent civil engineer of the era. Improved planning and oversight, the team finally completed the tunnel in 1805, this time without further incident. Today, the Blisworth Tunnel is not only a monument to the determination and resilience of early canal engineers, but it also holds quite a few modern-day titles. Stretching an incredible 2,811 metres, or roughly 28 football pitches, it is the longest wide, freely navigable tunnel in Europe, and the 9th longest canal tunnel in the world. But the tunnel is more than an engineering marvel. It's also a part of the waterway's living legacy. I've had a great time diving into the history of the Grand Union Canal. If you want to learn more about the Grand Union, you can head to www.canalrivertrust.org.uk. But now, we'll head back and take a look at another story. Now that we've had a look at the waters around Northampton, let's move further inwards where we can get a look at how the state of farming is affecting one young farmer. It is believed that farming has existed in Britain since 4000 BC. For thousands of years, it has been more than just a livelihood. It's been a cornerstone of British society. From ancient ploughs to satellite-guided tractors, agriculture has evolved alongside us, feeding generations and shaping our landscapes. Even today, farming remains a vital part of the economy, contributing over 120 billion each year to the UK's food and farming sector. But despite its importance, farming is facing one of its most difficult challenges yet. 40% of local farmers are now over the age of 65. With fewer young people stepping in to replace them, the UK risks losing a large portion of its agricultural workforce within a single generation. But there is hope. Across the country, a new generation of farmers is beginning to step forward. Some are embracing cutting-edge technology, using drones to monitor crops, apps to track livestock, and AI to optimize irrigation and soil health. Others are taking a different route, returning to traditional methods, smaller plots, and community-focused farming. But for these farmers, the road is often harder. Many are vulnerable to the rising costs of fuel, machinery, and land. Some leave the industry before they've even begun, others burn out under the weight of mounting debt and uncertainty. And when they leave, they don't just take their tools, they take with them a future of food security. If the UK is to safeguard its agricultural legacy, it must do more to support its young farmers through education, affordable land schemes, and long-term investment in rural communities. As the new generation of farmers begin to step in and take the weight of the agricultural landscape, they face a barrage of policies and the unpredictability of the market. So today, we're going to speak with a young farmer who's trying to pave the way for himself so he can make it through these rough times. So, originally, what got you into farming?
Well, I grew up around a family farm, so it was always part of my life to begin with. And I wouldn't say I would see myself doing anything else, but if you live the life from a young age, then it's I don't think you really know what else you want to do.
So is that the reason you chose to take it as a career?
Yes and no. I prefer more of the machinery side of things and the big machinery, and it's always interested me.
Yeah.
I would say, that's just the whole fun side of running around in big machinery, really.
And how do current politics affect your career, or how will they eventually affect your career?
This is there's quite a lot to go into there, but the politics of international politics affects farming in this country quite a lot, and I think there's going to be a big change, and it will affect quite severely.
And then, do you have any changes that you'd want to make make it easier for farmers, just to do their job?
I would like for farmers to be able to set their own price instead of the supermarkets or whoever the mills or whoever you're saying to setting the price, and you've got to make it to that price. I'd like them to give us the power of choosing how much we sell it.
Yeah. Now, after hearing what it's like for someone who is personally affected by these problems, some of you may want to get your hands dirty and try and help out in your own way with the food market or the agricultural industry. And there's a way for you to do that. Spread across Northampton are different groups called Young Farmers. They're a social group that help promote issues in the countryside and rural areas. They also teach skills that can help you in all walks of life. They run fundraisers for other groups and can help young people who are interested in joining the rural workforce make connections. And these groups want nothing more than just to help out. Farming could be considered one of the UK's most important aspects, with our country life and living style surrounded by raising crops and animals. And it would be a terrible incident to lose all of that. However, I've had a great time out in the fields today, and maybe a few of you young, aspiring farmers will also have a good time too. But let's head back and look at our last story. The spring day has finally come to an end, and we've just finished exploring around this great section of the UK. But I hope to catch you on next week's episode of Field Notes.